Everybody, just introducing my next project that I'm going to be working on right now. For those of you that were interested in the Infinity stuff I was doing, I'm taking a pause on that. I shared on the Musty Wargamers Facebook page that I had a problem with the bikers and got a little discouraged, and I'm actually going to just put it aside for a bit and then just come back to that in the future. I'm sort of just stripping and starting from scratch on those. But Rusty and I had planned on doing a spring painting challenge, as we always do. We are changing it up a little bit at this point. So what we've always done historically, we do about 2 a year, one in the spring and one in the fall. We typically do a Musty Wargamers Old Hammer painting challenge, which has been fairly loose in the definition of Old Hammer. And as much as Rusty and I will probably continue to paint old stuff, because that's just kind of what we're interested in, we also paint new stuff too, as you guys know who watch both of our channels. We are just transitioning it to the Musty Wargamers Painting Challenge. So we have had participation in the past challenges, in the Old Hammer challenges initially, and some folks just sort of finished some stuff up that they just had from the past and never had a chance to paint, but then really weren't planning on like collecting or buying any more old miniatures. And so really participation has dropped off over time, and I think it's only reasonable that if we do want this to be a group project, you know, at all, going forward, just an excuse just to kind of get something painted and to participate, hold yourself to something, whatever, that we just open it up. And that, so, you know, like our channel, I mean, like really we do both historical and fictional content. Really it's just open for anybody that wants to paint anything. And people do put stuff on the Facebook page for Musty Wargamers that really ranges from anything that people are interested in. And so that's going to be the case going forward. Now, we are starting kind of mid-month, and so we were just looking at doing this through till the end of May. So I don't know whether I've kind of bit off too small of a chunk, but this is what I'm planning on doing. I have 5 chariots for my Chaos Beastmen horde, and I also have a BSB Battle Standard Bearer. And this at one time was limited edition, and I don't think that's the case anymore, because they did do a reprint on Beastmen, and this was one of them that they reprinted. This is metal, and so this is the Battle Standard Bearer. Really nice model. I've always liked this, and I think I couldn't imagine my Beastmen army not having access to such a cool Battle Standard Bearer. Now, for my 5 chariots, I do have a special character, and so that's this one here. I realize these are just primes, so it's kind of hard to see, but he's kind of busy anyway, if you actually kind of go into his face here. He's a busy-looking bad guy. Lots of stuff protruding from his head, but these are all like horns and stuff, and he is Beastman, I suppose. Now his chariot is a little different, probably the most different compared to the rest. I think the main thing being is that one of them has a different head piece for one of the boars, and I think these are Tuskagore chariots is what the name is. So they're not, because there are in later editions, like in 8th edition in particular, a choice between different ones, different animals that are leading it. But they have this sort of skull up here, and then the sides of the chariot have a different style wheel and different style. They have like some skin on the sides of these railings, where the other chariots don't have that skin. They're not quite as spiffy, according to the Beastmen. Like, they just have, like, wood, you know, just bolting it together, where he's got, like, skins of his enemies probably on the sides. Now, this one here is a later version. The chariot's mostly the same. It actually has a skull on the top of one of the sides, where none of the other ones have that. But the models are just a little newer. So it's an Ungor there, it looks like, with a spear and a whip. That's what it looks like to me. And then there's a pretty cool looking Gore model. Bestigor, I suppose, because it's always Bestigors that are charging the chariot forward, but he's holding like a skull in his... actually, it looks like he's holding an elven head with a big axe. It looks like a two-handed axe he's holding with one hand. That's what it kind of looks like. It's a nice model. It's the later one. The other ones, the other two here, so this was brand new, and so was one of these, and then the rest were used. These three were used, and I've kind of stripped them and brought them back to life. Both the hero, and I'll talk about this one in a second. But these two are the same, just one of them was new. Sealed. These are the Bestigor, the older style Bestigors that just are holding the axe straight up. And then just I don't know if it's supposed to be an Ungor here or Gore. It looks more like a Gore, but in any case, he's the same as far as gameplay goes. This one would be exactly the same. And then this one here is meant to be really like these, but the only thing is that I got a... it was used, and what I got with it, instead of the original Bestigor, I got just a Bestigor. He's just... I believe he comes with something else. I don't believe he's meant to come with the chariot. I think somebody put him on there, I'm not sure, but he'll do just fine. Add a little variety, I suppose. And so that's it. That's my challenge, my 5 chariots. I think this, in my mind, should suit me totally well for any size fantasy game I want to play as far as chariots. I think using 5 would be a fairly chariot-heavy list. And so they are kind of cool all lined up like that. It's basically like, you know, pretty sizable group of chariots coming at you. But I think this will be totally, even maybe slightly overkill for my chariot needs. But nice to add to my ever-growing Beastmen force. I hope you guys also decide maybe to do a musty painting challenge within the next month and a half. We're pretty easygoing as far as the timing and getting it done. However, having said that, we are actually going considerably over a month, even from starting it. So it'd be good if you think about it as something to get done, you know, before the end of May. All right, and if you haven't already, we have a pretty small community, still growing. You know, we're actually approaching 100 members, but the goal was never really to grow it per se, but we have a nice community on Facebook where we do give updates about the next show coming up, and people post their hobby progress on things they're working on. Hope you guys are having a good week, and talk to you later.